Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, Drawing with Michael. I am Michael this morning, and we're going to be working on, I can turn this around for you guys. This is my Dell Inspiron 7573, I believe. This is a 15.9 or 15.6 inch laptop, all-in-one, that I utilize as a sketchpad drawing kind of everything. So what makes this device really cool is the fact that let me go ahead and start it up, is the fact that, first of all, it's a really powerful machine. I've done a short review on this machine already on the channel. I'm not going to delve into all the specs and stuff like that. Just suffice it to say, it's a really powerful machine and kind of a little bit of overkill for what I utilize it for. What I really like about the machine, obviously, it is a beautiful, beautiful screen. You guys can see that. But what I really like about it is the size. You can see in terms of just footprint, it's just a fantastic representation of a drawing tablet. It doesn't necessarily get marketed as a drawing tablet, but it is a fantastic machine. It runs Windows 10, full, you can run full apps on it, applications, whatnot. And what I really like about it is this pen. This, obviously, it has a little Dell insignia right here, but this is not Intrigue technology. Even though it is a PC, it's not Intrigue. This is Wacom technology. And with that, I think it's 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity. And, whenever you combine this Wacom technology with this screen, and this capability, it becomes a really powerful tool for your studio needs. It is a 4K screen, so in terms of resolution, let's look at the resolution here. Let's look at the screen. Display. So you guys can see 3840 by 2160. So to have that screen, what you basically have to also have is a dedicated GPU. So this has a 2 gigabyte NVIDIA graphics card that is dedicated. In addition to that, it has 16 gigs of onboard DDR5 RAM, I believe. And it's got a 256 SSD in it. So all those things combined, and it does have the i7 8th generation processor. So you can tell that it's got a really robust footprint with regards to technology. In terms of how it applies to you or an illustrator in the marketplace, let's go ahead and do this. This is, by the way, you see how the cursor is showing? Actually, it's not the cursor right now. I was going to say, typically what happens in Windows, whenever you first start it up, what I like to have on my pen is I like to have the cursor hidden. So a lot of times I'll start the operating system up and the cursor will be showing. So you just have to go in here and adjust that really quick if you don't like the cursor to show in your application, which I don't. Okay, so the interface, in terms of speed, is wonderful. It doesn't have any lag. It doesn't do any of that. So we're not going to discuss any of that. What we are going to talk about today is how I use this device in a day-to-day workflow. You guys know that I have an iPad Pro, I have some other devices, Surface and the HP, and of course my desktop. And how does this fit kind of into that whole place? I had purchased this particular device originally to kind of supplement my workflow. I used it whenever I was doing demos because the peripheral ports on the side of an HDMI, an USB-C, and also a USB 3. So it definitely Well, that's another USB over here and an SD card slot. So for those of you who do any kind of video production, it definitely could help you out in that respect. One of the things I don't like about Windows in general, and actually they've really adjusted it recently, which is really cool, is, here, let's do this, is the let's go, okay, here we go, is the fact that remember what I was saying. Let's go ahead and get some stuff on here. So I'm doing a little drawing today, just with regards to touch. So you guys see that in this particular application, touch happens. What's interesting is whenever I put my hand down, it reacts, but it doesn't do it as bad as it used to. So obviously there's been some updates, but if you have any issues with touch on whatever device you're on, then I highly recommend you guys basically turning touch off, and you can do that in the in one of the menus. Okay, device menu. You guys know that I have a affinity for drawing birds. So this morning, we're just going to do a really quick warm-up sketch of some birds. Here we go. Of some birds. I'm using Sketchbook Pro. If any of you guys have used Sketchbook Pro before, you know how wonderful it is on the PC. Is it that great, let's say, on the Mac? No, not really. Well, not on the Mac desktop. On the Mac desktop, everything is good. But on the PC, I don't like that silhouette. Let's think of the silhouette here. Okay, see, I'm getting mired down and talking about technology, and I'm messing up my drawing. Okay, so basically what I need to do is go ahead and get this done in really quick. Here we go. I remember when I was a kid, one of my favorite times of the day, or actually week, was Saturday morning, because, of course, Saturday morning equals Saturday morning cartoons. I was a cartoon kid, man. I loved doing cartoons. I loved all of even the classics, the Looney Tunes and Wile E. Coyote and all of those. I just really, really loved them. And that's kind of where this whole cartoony feeling comes from, of what I like. So right now what I'm doing is I'm doing basics. I'm blocking in gesture. I'm blocking in simple anatomy. I'm not getting mired down in the details just yet. Right, he's like, hey, hello. Maybe I'll give him some glasses here in a second. He's kind of thinking. And on this, in this particular program, I'm using Sketchbook Pro, of course, like I said, but I'm using a very big brush. It's one of their standard brushes, so just their standard paintbrush, and I've adjusted some of the roundness. So I've adjusted some of the variables and settings. Let's go ahead and make this here. Okay. He's got his little shoulder that comes out here. Good. And then this one, maybe. comes around here and he's like, huh. Got a couple feathers that are, shoulder comes up, down. He's like, as a matter of fact, I do know where that's from. Right? Yeah, okay. It helps too if you have drawn a lot of birds and have a brief, rudimentary understanding of how their anatomy works. So you might give him some glasses too. How about that? Yeah, make him. Yeah, okay. And you know what's fun too is what you can do to make, obviously make him smart. You can give him a little, you know, graduation hat, but that's kind of overkill. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna boof out this chest just a little bit. Boof. That's a technical term that they teach us in college. Boof. That means to extend or to expand. Some of you guys are like, bro, I didn't know that. Boof? I have to use that in my next critique. So you need to boof that aspect of your drawing. People are going to look at you and go, you're crazy. Okay. All right. So I think I'm good. So I want you guys to see something. Obviously, you know, this particular character is a bird, but it's not constructed in a way that's overly complex, right? That's one of the things I think sometimes is we allow the drawing really to overcome our confidence or the complexity of what we think the drawing needs to be. Even this right here, I'm not really happy with this. Maybe I'll change that. Okay, so I will. So I'll come here to my eraser and I'll make it quite large over here. So I want to change, because what I'm trying to establish is a clear silhouette. So maybe, here's that. Maybe he's got, so it goes here. He's got that other finger up. He's like, it's only this wide. Okay. And you got these other feathers that kind of come down. So it goes like this. Here, and he's got that here, and they got that other feather like here, and it kind of fans out just a little bit because he's kind of, you know, he's like, he's doing that. Okay, maybe I'll give him a coat. Okay, so here, good, okay, so there we go. Like that a little bit better. This one's not quite where I want it to be. Have this chest come out just a little bit further. Okay. That's good. Maybe he's got a little collar that comes up like this. He's got a tie. I was watching a show the other night that I really enjoy. It's called Elementary. And one of the main characters, played by Lucy Liu, Joan Watson, she had this little itty bitty tie on. I mean, it was tiny. It was probably that big. And I thought, man, how can I incorporate that into a character? I need that shoulder coming up just a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, he's like, it was about this long, and I swear it was. Okay, so now what I do is I go over here to my, there, very nice. I add a layer, and if you notice, just space-wise, this computer is fantastic. Let's make it a little bit darker. A little bit darker. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is I go to one of my favorite brushes. It's got a nice texture to it. See that? Oh, nice. So nice. I don't have any smoothers on it. Okay. So if I did have a smoother, you'd see this little red dealio that really makes everything nice and smooth. It's got it trails behind it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my process. Whoops. So I need to go darker. Whoops, luminance. There is no luminance in black. Okay, size. Okay. And what you can do if you don't like, so I've got my quick key over here. I haven't mapped out. Actually, let's make sure that it is on the correct. It's on Sketchbook. Okay. That's weird. Let's go back. I know I mapped it out. I don't know what the deal is, why it's doing that. Okay. Now it's completely messed up. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's go back to this particular pencil. I do like this one, so let's go around the spacing, flow with light pressure, flow with heavy pressure. Good. So I want to make it a little bit darker. Good. Flow with heavy pressure. So I don't want it to come on too dark. Okay, so now I make it a little bit smaller, and I just start sketching out what I want to do. Okay, a little bit of fur there. Feathers, not fur. My apologies. Okay, so let's... Whoops. Okay. Yeah, this one's not feeling like it should. You ever have that? You're doing a drawing. Okay, there we go. That's better. So now I need to go ahead and define this a little bit better. Good. A little bit of eye shine in there. Color this in, make it a little bit bigger. And what's really cool is I'm not having that weird, shaky issue that happens. Actually, let me see this. You know, this is supposed to be Wacom, so I don't know why I'm getting a little bit of shake and shimmy. That's weird. So let's turn on the smoother, because I want this to be a nice, even line here. Yeah, because it's supposed to have the Wacom technology. I wonder if the driver has been updated, which does make a difference if you have the incorrect driver, right? Or if you have the incorrect pin, you know, or if the there we go. If the computer doesn't like what you're wearing that morning, you know, if it's like, I don't like your outfit, therefore you do not get to use pressure sensitivity, and you're like, wait a minute, bro, I'll change my outfit, just please, I need to work. Okay. Yeah, it does have the Wacom tech, so I don't know. Probably has to do something with Microsoft. Okay, we're gonna have it come around. Yeah, it's wiggling. Look at that. Let's go down straight. Yeah, it's treating it like a, well, that's disheartening. wonder if I have it on WinTab. See, you need to install the WinTab driver. I don't know. How terrible would it be if this has the Intrig technology? See, it's acting just like Intrig, and then you go diagonal and you have the wiggle, and then you do this and it goes straight, and you go horizontal and it's completely straight. But if you go, I don't know, let's go really slow. Well, I don't know, dude, that's really straight. Now, see, when it's really, if it was Intrig, it would, no, it's doing it. It's consistent. Okay. So, that's not good. It's supposed to have, anyway, so let's go. Let's get through this here. I do use Intrig technology quite a bit, or whatever they call it, Microsoft proprietary. One of the things that, yeah, that's definitely, it's got a wiggle. I do. I like birds, man. So I'll be doing possibly a, let's do this, up, down, here, doing a live stream. Not this week, because I got too much to do this week. Possibly working on the children's book. Let's give them little spots. See, I typically don't have any issues with Intrig. A lot of people do because they, you know, draw really slow. Intrig or their Microsoft proprietary. Let's do this. It's gonna have a kind of a chest boof that comes out. Maybe it goes down a little bit right here. It comes back up. Good. And he's got his shoulder. It comes here. And it comes down like that. And then I got that feather grouping. It comes like this. Right? So what I'm doing now is I'm just going through and using the using the underlying sketch to really refine what I'm doing and making the drawing a little bit clearer. Yeah. This comes here, here, there. Okay. Right? That one finger, he's like, I invented the question mark. And you're like, no, brah, you didn't. You didn't. So we've got some of these little peripheral feathers that come here. All right, like that. And this goes here, around, here, two, and finally this one comes around, comes around, comes around, and they got that feather right there that comes out. You have that like this. I had them going the wrong way. Right, and a little separation here. Okay, and we come back. Just a little grouping right there. It's like, I swear I invented the question mark. It's like it was about that long, I swear. Right. And what's great about these digital devices is you can go back in at any point in time, right, and start messing around again. You know, you didn't like a certain aspect of the drawing, you want to change, you know, a texture. Whoops, completely messed that up. You can do that, you know, without any issues when you're working. Has some feather, some plumage come out here. And then he's sitting on a perch, right? Perch, maybe it's a branch. So we'll have that come a little bit, we're gonna go 100%, a little bit smaller. So I do like another brush that I use a lot for inking. Nope, not that one. It might be this one. Let's go ahead and make it smaller. Yeah, I do like this one a lot. If you look, it's got a real nice texture to it. It's kind of like the previous brush that I had. Yeah, that's wiggling. Look at that. Let's go. Let's go really slow. Wiggle, wiggle. No, I don't know, dude. It's not doing it now. Look at that. I know it's not my hand. You know what? I'm gonna have to investigate. Because one of the reasons I bought this machine was because it had the Wacom tag. So all right. So this is just a little warm-up ditty to show you guys the benefits of owning, you know, a device like this. I definitely think that, you know, there's benefits to it. It is obviously a cost involved, so that's always something that needs to be considered. Sorry about that. I had a short little delay. Whoops. Okay, so let's get a little branch up there, right, to kind of balance that composition. So what I can do now is go back to one of my favorite, right, and just start messing around. A little variation of line weight, and since it's not a realistic, quote unquote realistic looking bird or environment, I can kind of get away with doing things stylized, so which is really nice. So, and two, what's really cool, if you guys are watching, I'm using, it's kind of literally just like a big, you know, I would say Wacom tablet, but I think it's, I don't know, dudes. If you look, you know, we go vertical, good and straight, horizontal, good and straight, diagonal. I don't know, guys. That's pretty straight. You know, if that was Intrigue, it'd be all over the place. I don't know. Either way, it is a stout machine. But you guys got to always remember, this is important to know, machines are just tools, right? What I tell my students whenever I did teach, I don't teach in the college anymore. I always said, give me a second while I do this. I said the machine is there to stop you from being creative. And it always confused people. And I was like, well, if you think about it, the machine is limited to the power of its processor. The machine is limited to how fast it processes the information. The machine is limited to the pressure sensitivity that is programmed into it. So that in and of itself is there to kind of slow you down. I said, if you really are interested in getting the purest form of artistic expression, I said, you know, use a pencil. You know, they didn't like that. Some of them did. They're like, okay. I'm like, yeah, but here's the caveat to that. You have to think, if you're a professional and you're using a pencil, the amount of time it takes after you do things to correct it, it's just better to, you know, do digital. Now, I still do traditional a lot. It seems to be doing it in different areas too. Isn't that weird? Let's go over here. Give him some baggage. He's been staying up late solving the world's problems. We're only about this far away from the meteorite. That's what he's saying. So this is what I wanted to show you guys this morning. Just something really quick, easy. Whoops. Quick and easy. You know, quick and dirty. Not, let's go ahead. We need to give him a tongue. Where are you at? Too, in Sketchbook Pro, they've got all these really cool texture brushes that you can put in, which I love. See? Give him kind of a textured beak. Yeah, and then you can go in and mess around with the texture here. And these brushes, for the most part, a lot of them that I have, you guys can see here, if it'll pull up my brushes really quick. Eventually, when there it is. So you guys can see that I have a lot of brushes. Now, some of these, like these right here, I purchased. But you can basically, you know, get them for, you know, $5, $10. So it's not a huge thing when it comes to cost. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Okay, good, good. Not a bad piece. Again, just having fun this morning, showing you guys that, you know, depending on what device you have, you know, it doesn't have to be a massively powerful machine, a desktop, to be able to get some really cool art done. Painting brushes. See, I got some really cool ones in here. You know, you can really come up with something fantastic. And I'm not saying this is fantastic. This is just having fun. Ooh, I like that. You know, they've got flora and fauna brushes and snow brushes, watercolor. Ooh, I love watercolor. That's boring. It does typically have a preview. I can probably change that. Oh, there it is. Some of them have previews. Uneven wash. Oh, I like that one. So let's do that one. You know, and you don't have to go out and spend $1 billion. This computer I got as a return, and it was $530. So with tax and shipping, and ended up being just a little bit shy of, you know, a little bit over $600. Retails about $13.50. And this is, believe it or not, my first Dell computer. I have never owned a Dell. I wasn't one of the Dell kids back in the day. I didn't do any of that, you know. Let's erase a little bit of the background here. I don't like it infringing on my drawing. So eraser, hard, dry media, pen and ink. That's one of the things I don't like particularly about Sketchbook Pro. You know, developing textured erasers is something that I would like to do, right? only is about that long, I swear. We were this far away. You know. I think what I'll do is go ahead and put you guys on time-lapse for the next probably 10 minutes. I'll block some color in for you guys. I won't do any narration. We'll just put some music over so you guys can just watch the process as I go ahead and block stuff in. I haven't even saved this document. You know how it goes. You get so enraptured and fun. PSD document fun too. Make sure I don't have any other funds. See all the funds I have? Funds, creature fund, test. Okay, save. Okay, so I'm gonna put you guys on time lapse, let you guys watch the process of me just literally blocking in local color, and then I'll do some real quick shadows on there. I wish I had a different eraser. I might have to download some erasers because these, I'm seeing really cool brushes. Quick sketch, smear. You know, I mean, the other thing I can do is maybe go to like this, you know, change this to white, and then go in. Whoops. I don't know, can I do that? Charcoal. And then we'll go and we'll just basically do this. Make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, and then you could basically utilize the back, or the background white. Now obviously this wouldn't work if I was, you know, had a colored background. But since I'm not doing that, put a little bit of texture in here to kind of break up the consistency. Obviously right here, you know, I'd go back in and fix his eyes, but I think overall we're in a decent spot. So let's go ahead and add a layer. And I'll go ahead and put you guys on time lapse. You can watch me block in the local color and just put in some real quick value and shadows, and we'll do a wrap up at the end. Okay, that's all for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the process. Again, I was working on my Dell Inspiron 7573. This is the 15.9 inch variant with the 4K screen. I believed it had the Wacom / Microsoft technology, but at the end of the day, I think that I need to do a little bit more investigation with regards to that. I know that some of them have Wacom, some of them don't, depending on the screen you get. But either way, I worked in Sketchbook Pro today. Just a really quick little character sketch to show you the viability of such a device. Hopefully you guys are getting something from the videos. More coming, of course, live streaming, posting. Follow me on Instagram, and all the links obviously in the description. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Do 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 da ba 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 ba, yeah.